Well, howdy there, Internet students. It's Mr. Hermanson again. Today we are going to start Lesson 3.1b. You might notice this says Lesson 3.1a. We're going to just do a little introduction today. The way you're going to do a lot of your percent problems for a while is using the old idea of a proportion, which you learned before. So today I'm just going to review that and we're going to just make sure you understand how to use the proportions. And then you're just going to practice that a few times for today. And then tomorrow we'll do a little bit more with that. In the end, we're going to hopefully transfer from our knowledge of proportions to just understanding what to do on each percent problem. Basically, percent problems are either, you're either going to need to multiply or you're going to need to divide. And you should be able to tell eventually which way you want to go on that. So I'm just reviewing what you had earlier, so if you can find this page, that'd be great. One way to work with percents is to set up and solve a proportion. When using percent proportions, you will know two of the three missing values, because there's one value that's never missing, and that's the 100 at the bottom of the percent side. And so we're going to use these terms. You'll get used to them. The part, the whole, and the percent. So the percent is always going to go over 100. That makes sense. The part is on top and the whole on bottom. Now, you kind of have to be a little bit careful with those terms. Sometimes the part is actually more than the whole, because it is possible to have more than 100%. So we're going to get into some situations like that. So let's just quickly do our math here to solve these proportions. So in this case, 9 is the part, 6 is the whole, and this is just a regular proportion, so it's not actually percent. But here's how you solve a proportion. When you have two things that are proportional, the cross products are equal. So that means that 9 times 10 will equal 6 times x. And what that leads to is a quick and easy way we can solve a proportion. So this is 90, right? And so I need to figure out what number times 6 equals 90. To do that, I'm just going to divide by 6. And so I find out that x equals 15. Okay? So go ahead, you try the next one, see if you get the right answer. But I'll tell you this. So we want to do the two numbers across from each other, get that total. 8 times 3 is 24. And that's going to equal to 4 times x. Now, to figure out what number times a number equals something, you would divide. You would work backwards and divide. So go ahead and do that and see if you get the right answer. All right, now to set up a proportion like that, we're going to do this. We're going to put 100 on the bottom here. And then the percent goes over 100, and since this percent is given on this one, I'm going to put that right there. And then all you have to do on the other side is figure out, is 322 the part or the whole? Well, since it's out of 322, whatever it's out of, you always think of that as the whole. Okay? So since it's out of 322, we're going to put that on the bottom. We're going to put an x here. And then I'm going to do 322 times 67, get that answer. And then I'm going to divide that by 100. Now, one little shortcut you could take, you probably know by now that when you divide by 100, it just moves the decimal over 2 places. So here's what I got, 215.74. We're probably going to want to round that to the nearest whole number because both of these are whole. So the closest we can get if we're looking for accuracy is to the nearest whole. So we'll say it's about 216. Okay. Now, your estimating skills come in handy here because you're going to look at this number and see if it kind of makes sense. 216 out of 322, is that about 67%? And I'm hoping you guys are starting to see this as 2/3, which we know is 66%, 66 and 2/3%. So yeah, this totally makes sense. All right, let's do one more here. Just put your 100 here. The number that goes above the 100 is the percent. In this case, we're wondering what that percent is, so that's going to be the missing thing. This seems to be out of 55. Whatever it's out of is your whole, and so 27 must be the part. Okay, so we're going to do 27 times 100, which is 2700, and then we're going to divide that by the other number, 55, to get our answer. And if you did that right, you should have gotten about, it's a little over 49, but since these are all whole numbers, we might as well round to the nearest whole number. So we're going to round it to 49. Now we're looking for the percent, so this one we're going to label percent. Okay, you guys, I'd like you to skip ahead to page 10 now. And it looks like this. And I'll do the first couple with you, and so you'll have the answers for your homework problems for those two. And then you're going to just finish this up on your homework. Okay? So on number 1, it says 3 is what percent of 10? So we're looking for the percent. So set up your proportion and put your x above the 100 because you're looking for the percent. Now, since it's out of 10, put the 10 there, and then 3 will go there. And so we're going to have to do 3 times 100 first, and then you divide that by the other number, which is 10. So you get 300 divided by 10, which is 30. All right, let's do one more here. Actually, I'm going to do 2 more, then we've pretty much done one of every type of problem. But let's set this up. We have the percent here, that goes over here above the 100. And it's out of 40, so that's your whole, that goes down here. And so we're looking for the part on this one. So we're going to do 40 times 15. And we're going to divide that by 100. 40 times 15, I believe, is 600. Divided by 100 equals 6. So 6 out of 40 is about 15%. And yeah, that makes sense. 6 out of 40. Okay. This one says 24 is 75% of what number? So we have the percent is 75. That goes over 100. And then 24 is 75% of what number? It's out. What it's out of is the thing we're looking for here. I hope you could tell that. So I'm looking for the whole, and 24 is the part. So 24 out of some number, that's where I put the x, is equal to 75 out of 100. So we're going to do 24 times 100. And then we're going to divide that by 75. And we get 32. That's our missing number. All right, so you're going to do the rest of those today, and hopefully you'll get really good at them. Make sure you study the ones you get wrong so you figure out what you're doing wrong, because we want to be able to do these percent problems fairly accurately. All right, good luck with that, and we'll talk to you soon.